Hello, everybody. You're catching me kind of slacking here behind schedule with some stuff. So I'm going to pop a few supports until some people show up. If anybody shows up. And this is about as extreme of a preview as you can get for something coming up in the next few weeks. After having multiple requests online and offline, I am going to do a redo of the Blessed Sisters. And now, because I have gotten better at printing than I was back when I did that video, I can actually bring the units that I wanted to bring. And it's going to be a melee focused Blessed Sisters army. Well, mostly melee focused. It's got 3 units of fanatics in it. And now with the 3.4 rules. Oh, camera's a weird angle. Now the 3.4 rules, I think they are a little better than they were. So it'll be fun to put them through their paces. We got the dryer in the background, as you guys can hear. Again, I'm running behind schedule. The new job has been good. The new job has been fun. Kicking my butt. I'm coming home tired now, where before I didn't really think about stuff. Now I spent all day fighting with a floor buffer. I had to strip and wax some floors. So hey, I see we got somebody here. How you doing? We're just doing a little bit of support removal before we get into painting. I'm running behind schedule. Oh, never mind. That's okay. Oh, that one feels tight. There we go. Alright, let me go check that dryer. I bet you I could turn it off. Be right back. Okay. Dryer's off. There we go. Now it's just the gentle hum of the 3D printer in the background. Hey, Terrainaholic, how you doing? The lucky piece of plastic we're going to be painting tonight are these guys. And tonight, like, this is the opening stages of this army, and I am not even sure what color I want to do them yet. So we put one up here. This guy's most basic pose. And these are pretty darn big too. So this is the basic pose. These are the Spartan cast from Gamic, and they are going to be the Eternal Wardens. Well, that's what they're going to be on my table at least. And what I'm doing here is just I'm behind schedule, and I started doing this, and it's like I don't want to stop. I got 2 more left. So consider this extreme preview for something to come. Gold and blue? Yeah, we could do gold and blue. I haven't done a blue army in a while. There's where it connects. Alright, just... Okay. She's done. One more. One more and I can start slapping some paint. And what I was saying earlier is that... Oh, thank you. And what I was saying earlier is that now that I have gotten better at 3D printing, I'm going to redo the Blessed Sisters army, or the Blessed Sisters video. And now I can use models I actually wanted to use that before were just not capable of coming out on my printer. So those are done. We'll set them there. So gold and blue. Let's check out what we got over here. Let's see, there's magic blue. Oh Lord, everything's all jumbled up. High Lord blue. See, we need some hardened leather. Not glittering loot. These don't have any wood on them. Polished silver, we'll need that. Or bronze, not bright, that, not that. Hoplite gold, that'll be our gold color. I don't know why I'm really liking that gold more than the others. Satchel brown, probably need that too for some equipment. Wait, is that full? Oh, that's full. Okay. Here's Tyrian navy. That's a darker blue. Crusader skin. Cloud. Man, I got a lot of blues. Absolute green orc skin. Desolate brown, blah blah blah, blah blah. That's kind of a blue, but nah. Okay, that'll do. So we got the gold. Do we want to? Here, I'll let you choose. We got dark, middle, and a lighter blue. Which one of these do you think would go good with the gold? With this gold. Decisions. Well, I'll think about that. And while We come to that, we could do everything else. I don't even have a paper towel set up. Man, you'd think by now I would know what I'm doing, right? All right. How about this? We'll do a little test swab. Gold. We got the dark. Middle. Lighter blue as it splashes everywhere. This is not scientific in any way whatsoever. Ooh. Middle blue. It's going to be middle blue. That will be High Lord blue. So those two go back over there. Yeah, middle blue. So before we get to that, we got to do the deeper colors first. So there is some skin showing. Let's start with that. Let's mix that a little bit more. Tell Sushi's got good taste. All right, what we got here? We got some toes. Is that? Yep, there is a support all the way in there that I've gone through and dry brushed and didn't see. All right. And that brush sucks. Yeah, we'll go with all reliable here. Yeah, see, this, it's got some leather strapping on it. So for that, we're just going to use hardened leather. But for right now, this is just all of the skin here. And then when we go over and we hit the leather, it doesn't matter if the skin color's up on there. It'll blend. Those look like gloves. I got this here. All right, everything else is armor. Even his face. They all have the same face, so that's like the face part is part of the mask, kind of like the Stormcast are together. Okay, we got a little bit more on this one. Not much more, but there we go. And with these, I started with a black undercoat, so it's going to be it's going to be a little bit more contrasty than usual, but it's fine. It's mostly going to be armor. Oh, well, good. Good, good. Okay. Now, yeah, next would be the leather. Do, 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 do. One drip. And the reason I'm only doing 3 of these tonight, well, one, because they come in units of 3, and 2, because, oh, my new job's got me pretty darn exhausted. I'm like actually doing stuff at work now. There we go. It's starting to look great already. All right, then we got. I guess the gloves would be leather as well. They kind of look like hockey gloves. Big old poofy fingers. Oh, I got Discord popping off. And yeah. Oh, okay. I'll have to remember there's wood on the back of these shields. I will have to paint, but that's all the leather. And yeah, we'll do this part down here wood as well. Make it look like a hickory handle or something. Well, good. Good, good. I love seeing pics. Let's see. I got another video coming out. Well, I got 2 more videos coming out this week. One is the Soul Snatchers, and then the other one is the Ossified Undead video. that we did with those. And Ossified Undead one, it's uploading now. I mean, something's been going on YouTube where it's taking me like 7 hours to upload one of my videos. Now, I know they're not exactly short, but come on, guys. And I've been trying to upload those to Patreon as well. You know, something there. And it will like upload the video for 4 or 5 hours. So I let it go overnight. And every time I do, I wake up and get back on my computer in the morning and goes, oops, something went wrong. You need to start over. Like, oh, what the hell? So I'll have to figure something out with Patreon, like make private video URLs or something. I don't know. Oh, wait, did I miss his sword? No, but I did. There's a support on his butt that I missed. Come here. Okay, he's good now. Oh, I missed this whole leg. Well, I gotta come back for that. You know, the editing, depending on what program you use, the editing is, I don't know, in my mind, it's pretty fun. Because I mean, most people I know edit in silence. Like, you have to hear everything. I edit with music playing. And it's usually the kind of music that you just zone out to. So it is very relaxing whenever I edit videos. Kind of like when I'm painting. And I've told people what my editing software is, and they go, "Oh my God, how do you use that? That's so hard." Apparently, I use free softwares, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so terrible. Can't do anything." I'm like, I don't know, it's working pretty good so far. Oh wait, leave them on there. Gotta do that leg. Like a Crusader skin. We should have enough built up on the rim. Ooh, it's dry. Let's see if I can't bring a little of this back to life here. Ooh, there we go. Just a little bloop at the top. Perfect. Okay. I am forgetting all kinds of stuff. It's just been that kind of day. Got this, and this hand. And this hand. And those straps. There we go. There we go. Let's see. What kind of a weird story can I tell tonight? Here we are 25 minutes in before I even think of that. Look. Let's see, I could talk about the time I went to Colorado to play in a 40K tournament. It was rather interesting. It was 2007, 2008 maybe. And it was the Feast of Blades tournament. And it was a tournament thing that they had set up to where you have to play in a local tournament, a local Feast of Blades tournament. And then if you won that, you were invited to go to Colorado to play there. And me being the tournament organizer in town, I'm like, hey, we're going to set this up. This sounds cool. I'm going to play in it. Wahaha. And so played in that, and then I ended up coming in like, third, fourth, something like that. I did not win the tournament, and I was bummed. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to Colorado. But the person that did win had no interest in going. And so as it worked out, nobody else wanted to go. So finally, you got to me on that list. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'll go to Colorado. So I got the ticket. I got a golden ticket. And this was back in 4th edition of 40K. And I had an army that I had made that, well, let's see, how did this happen? There were 2 of us that were going to this tournament. It was me and then John, who was an Imperial Guard player. So honestly, it was so long ago. I don't remember how many people got to go. It might have been the first 2, the first 3. I don't remember. But it was me and John that were going to go to Colorado. We're in 10th edition now. Almost going to be, it's going to be 11th edition next year. And I can't wait. I'm going to make a video coming up, or a short, to be like, hey, one more year until the next edition. Have you got your codex yet? Are you sure you want to spend the $60 on it to be able to play with it for 6 months? Rub that in to get people over here to play OPR. But okay, we're going to Colorado. And I always travel light wherever I go. It was I everything I needed. I took the army, 3 changes of clothes, and a pair of flip-flops, other than everything else I was wearing with me, all in one carry-on backpack. I crunched that army in there. I made sure I was like, I'm going to buy super glue when I get there, as soon as I get off the plane, because I know something's going to break. All right, I think it is time to throw on the blue. And it was it was like the beginning of winter, because it had snowed in Denver. As soon as I got off the plane, all like me and John coming from Florida, I'm like, uh-oh, this is gonna suck. Blue here. Guess I want to do that lion gold. And so blue here, there. So I'm jumping around a little bit. So before we went, we both had to get our army, even harder. Rah, it's the Feast of Blades. We can't have a bad showing. So I had built this list and tweaked it enough. It was horrendous. Um, it had Inquisitor Cotiez in the army, and what he did is anytime anything came down a deep strike, I think it was if it came down a deep strike and him and his squad could see it, they were allowed to. They could shoot at it. And I gave him a squad of I think it was 11 inquisitorial henchmen that all had stormbolters. So it was 22 stormbolter shots at whatever came down that he could see, just immediately. No pass go, no collect $200, no collect $100. You just get shot. And well, I played against John, I think 4 or 5 games, kept tweaking that list, and then I had Space Marines and drop pods and well, I can't remember everything else that was in there, but it was Space Marines, and then it all hinged on that Inquisitor. Oh, he also had a rule that if the enemy was going first, he could steal the initiative and make me go first on a 4-up, and then was just not. He was no slouch in close combat either. And so the final iteration of the list before I left to Colorado, me and John played a game, and I tabled him in 1.5 turns. And he was so pissed at me, he left the store. He's like, screw it, blah 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 blah. Like, John, we ain't going to play patty cake, man. This is like a competitive thing. We're traveling 2,500 miles to go to this thing. That doesn't mean you get to be a dick. I'm like, that's exactly what it means. This was back when I was ultra competitive. Definitely not like now. Did he have a cape? He does not have a cape. This one does, though. And so we get there. A lot less drinking in this tournament convention than normally. Because it's just the two of us. He didn't really drink much. And I was like, oh, I don't want to get drunk alone. Oh, I came out a little bit of light there. So, the first day. Let's see. The first day, first opponent, I don't even remember what it was. Blasted right through it. Blasted right through that guy. And then second opponent was a guy who had all Deathwing Terminators, so his army was designed to deep strike. Well, my army is designed to hard counter deep strikers. And I kind of felt bad about that one because you could tell it was a guy who had a lovely, amazing looking army. He was more into the hobby aspect than the gaming aspect. And so I whooped him pretty bad. And then same thing with the third opponent. I won that game too. So that night, the first day, I went undefeated, and oh, I thought I was amazing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna win this whole thing. Yeah. If you ever go to a tournament, don't go in thinking you're gonna win. It just feels bad later. So that night, it had snowed. We were kind of stuck at the hotel there, at the convention hotel, or the tournament was at a hotel, and so we were all stuck. So I spent the night drinking at the hotel bar with like the Bella Lost Souls guys, a couple of GW people, just hanging out. Told them what my army list was, and the GW guys were half horrified. It's like, oh, you all didn't know you could do this? Yeah, that's the way the rules work. You wrote them. And then the next day, we got broke up into pods. This is the first time I ran into the pod system. So the first day, treat the first day like its own individual tournament. And then the next day, you get paired up with, I think it was 8 people that all were about the same score you had. And I didn't win everything perfectly. I didn't get max points, but I did get 3 wins. So I was in the 4th bracket. Yeah, 4th bracket. So I was overall like in between 24 and 32. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Oh, I got that ring on there. Paint your ring edges. So in my first game on day number 2 is where I run into, oh, I forgot what his name was, but he was like nationally ranked, one of the best 40K players in the US. And it was close. It was close, but in good old War Boss Fitz style, in the last turn of the game, I looked around and went, where did my army go? It was one of the guys I was drinking with the night before, and I kept saying he knew I was going to get paired into him. He was scheming all night. Blah. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna win. At that point, it took pretty much all the wind out of my sails. Like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna bring back gold for the boys. And then in the, we had lunch, and they had a I guess you'd call it a beer cart. It was ran by the hotel, and you could get like hard liquor shots right there at your table. So at that point, I started drinking. I started drinking, and then my second game, I think we ended in a tie. That was a Dark Eldar player, and his army was built on speed. And so we kind of just clashed, and it all kind of stuck right in the middle. Okay. And so at that point, after starting drinking there and a 40K game taking about 3 hours, and me not knowing when to stop drinking when I start, I was pretty well hammered. And all I wanted in life was to go outside and smoke a cigarette. Oh, yeah, I used to smoke back then too. Don't smoke, kids. Blah, blah, blah. So I roll up to the third table, and honestly, at that point, I was just done. I was half drunk. I was tired. Just did not want to play anymore. Because, 5 games of 40K over 2 days. My brain was just my brain was mostly broken at that point. I just wanted to be done, go back to the hotel room, take a nap. Well, the third guy that day, I forgot what army he was playing. I think it was another Dark Eldar army. His was built entirely different from the. Oh, and I'm off the screen. His army was built entirely different from the guy I played before. And he's like, "No, man, if you gotta go smoke a cigarette, just go out and do it. We can wait. We can do it. It'll be fine. Take your time." So I go out and I smoke. I swear to God, I'm gone from this table for like an hour. I'm out there hanging out with people, talking, shooting the breeze about anything else in life but 40K. And then I remember, oh yeah, I got a game in there. So I come back, apologize to the guy. Because, I didn't want to do it at all anyways. And then what followed was like the most savant game of 40K I ever played in my life. I tabled his army in 2 turns and it only took me half an hour. It only took 30 minutes. Which back then was an unheard of number. The look on the guy's face when he realized what happened, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I didn't want the game in the first place. I'm gonna go back to my room and sleep now. So I'm back to the room, and then John comes in like an hour later, like, wake up, it's time for wards. I'm like, okay, what place were you? He ended up like 132 is what he said. He's like, I'm not gonna win anything, but guess what? You're gonna win something. I'm like, oh God, what? So he drugged me out of bed, took me down there, and I got to sit in the hotel room as they went through all the awards, blah, blah, blah. Best sportsman, best general, best painted overall, best scores, and blah, blah, blah. And they started doing the pods. And where I was in the 4th pod, I ended up scoring enough points to come in, what was it, 25th. So I ended up winning pod number 4. Yay. I didn't feel great about it from the way that 3rd game went. But the guy who I played, the first game that I played, he ended up losing the other 2 of his games. And with my tie and my crushing victory in the 3rd game, I got just the right amount of points. And I think I have that. They gave me like a lanyard and a plaque thing. I think I got the lanyard hanging up in the garage somewhere. Because I know my brother-in-law asked about it, like, ooh, what's that? What trophy did you win that for? Because he thinks I'm, great at the game, which, me. And I told him, so I know it's out there somewhere. Done. Oh, we moved into the gold, by the way. And then we flew out the next morning. And it took me, I want to say 4 months to pay off the bill. From putting all that on my credit card to fly across the country to go play 40K. And so that was it. Feast of Blades ran for a couple more years after that, and then the next year, we had a we had a kid that won the tournaments because the Demon Hunters Codex came out, the one with the Grey Knights, the one that when people talk about Grey Knights being overpowered, that's the one they're talking about. And it was hilarious because the kid was winning all the tournaments locally just because his army was just broken. And he talked a big game like, well, Dad, if I could beat you, I may be able to win the tournament. And then he went off to it, went off to play, and I didn't see him again for like 2 months. And then he comes back. I'm like, hey, what happened? Turns out he got beaten so badly he didn't even want to play 40K anymore. I was like, oh, but you were talking a big game. What happened? Shut up, Dan. Okay. And then a few years later, that tournament shut down. Such was the way of things back then. Whenever we had giant tournaments like that, they tend to run out of steam. That's why, like, Adepticon and the Las Vegas Open, the ones that have been going for 20, 30 years, those are the exception, not the rule when it comes to big tournaments. All right, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Actually, it's looking really good. All right. Next. Let's start with a line over here. Yeah, and I am planning on going to Adepticon this year. I will see what. When is Adepticon this year? Isn't it like it's March or something? But I plan on going, and before the money was going to be tight, but with the new job, I think that will not be an issue anymore. Okay, last weekend in March. Good. Okay. Okay. Because the new company, they send me down to company training down in Indianapolis, and I got it for. Oh, great! That's good. That's good. I got training in January and February, so March is currently open. I'll have to see if I can hook up with anybody from One Page Rules. See if they're doing a booth or something there. So I can go annoy them. Or see if there's anybody there running a One Page Rules tournament. So I can just go hang out. And I keep drifting off camera. You can tell I'm tired. I'm just leaning this way. Okay, so they were there last year. Okay, good. Just tell them I want to help organize or see if they just need a hype man. Is that okay? That's all. Well, you can kind of see that. Let's get in there and do that part. There we go. One more gold. And then after this, silver, and I think we're done. Another thing they do at my new place is they have team meetings every week, and there are always questions they ask you to, I don't know, make sure you're awake. And the question this week was, what's something that someone has said that has inspired you? And some people were pulling out Martin Luther King or something a president said, and usual safe office stuff. And then they got to me. Okay, what's something I'm drifting again. What's something that someone has said that you take to heart? And I'm like, oh, Alexander the Great never charged war elephants. And everyone started laughing. I was like, no, seriously. That's my quote. Then I had to explain. The way I take that quote is whenever something in front of you or a task that you have seems insurmountable, like, say, painting an army, you look at it and you just go, oh, it's a lot of stuff. Don't charge right at it. Break it up into parts. Do one step at a time. And then once you have that in your head, and once you've made a plan, just follow that plan. Drifting again. Oh, I'll figure out this camera thing one day. So if a war elephant is on the field, don't go charging into it. You gotta think of a way to take it down. I thought about that, but a lot of the people that I work now are very we'll say touchy feely. And as soon as I pull out the "Hear the Lamentations of their Women" line, I bet you I'd get dirty looks. Okay. Oh wait, those gladius there have. Well, this one's gonna have a gold handle, along with this one. All right. Yeah, I tell you what. Hank Hill. I'll tell you what. These are looking pretty darn good so far. Let's throw some. Let's throw some metal on there as I just coated my finger in paint. Can't wait for all the weird looks I get some days when I'll show up with half my forearm spray painted black. What happened? Oh, my primer got away from me in the garage. Just waiting for those days. Let's put you up here. Oh, another thing too. The game store I used to go to get my paint was like 5 miles from my old job. It was kind of on the way home. Well, this new job is 20 miles the other direction. So I have to find a new game store up there to get my crack, to get my paints. So that ought to be fun. Because the old store I used to go in there, once a week to pick up paint, and it wasn't until like the last 2 months before like one of them heard me talk, and they're like, "Wait a minute, I've heard your voice." Like, ah, shit, they found me. He's like, do you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah. Do you play One Page Rules? Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be the finished look. I like it. Blue was a good choice. Yeah, it's always fun when that happens. Well, I don't know about jumping over a table, but it's always fun when someone recognizes you. Mm-hmm. Okay, that one's done too. Last one. I think too, working from a black undercoat, these guys have enough contrast. I'm not going to have to wash them. And anytime I don't have to break that out, that's always a plus in my book. One less step for me to do. And that's that. All right. So one thing I just thought about, with me coming to the end of all the different armies for OPR, I don't know if I'm going to have another 4-hour painting stream. That was kind of fun. Oh, I was wiped by the end of it. And the chat got a little spicy at the end. Because, you know, those Australians. I had Australians. I had some guys from the UK that came in towards the end. Oof. Started going off about female custodians. I'm like, listen, I don't care. This is OPR, not 40K. I don't care. And let's see, what do I got around here? Put them on this. Da, da. And we'll go like this. Oh, that lighting is terrible. We'll do. Oh, wait, why did I put on that? Just put them on this. Oh, I know how light works. Ugh. That's a little better. There we go. The first unit is done. Now I just got that many more to do. Yay. So, I'm going to call quits here tonight, everybody. You guys. And I am off to bed. So I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.